May I be healthy. May I be content. May I be peaceful. May I be filled with loving kindness. Now think of your family, friends, and loved ones. Imagine them individually. May my parents, husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, children, grandchildren, best friend, close friends, neighbors, co-workers, brothers and sisters. Also think about your pets. Imagine your own family, friends and loved ones. Even though if you are having any difficult time with one of your family member or one of your friend, in this time send your loving thoughts without separating them. Send your unconditional loving kindness. May all my family, friends and loved ones be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be healthy, may they be content, may they be peaceful, may they be filled with loving kindness. Now extend all of your loving friendliness to all the world. In this world, so many people are suffering mentally and physically. Some people are in sickness, fear, anger, hatred, in danger. Some people are in hunger, thirst. Some people, they don't have basic need. Some they don't have family, friends. In this moment, we couldn't help them physically, but we can wish to them and bless to them. May all living beings be well, be happy, Be peaceful. May all living beings be healthy, be content, be peaceful. May they be filled with loving kindness. Now, with your loving cleanliness, slowly turn your attention to your subtle sensation of the breath. We can practice mindfulness on focusing our in and out breath. If you want to change your posture anytime, you can change your posture. Do it mindfully and slowly. Keep your back straight. It's very helpful to breathe. While you are practicing, so many sounds, thoughts, sensation, emotions may come to your mind. Let them come and go. Or let them be. Understand about this moment. How important this moment. In this present moment, you are spend time with yourself, focusing your breath, being mindful about each breath. That means life. Be mindful about each breath. No need to control your breathing. Send attention to the tip of your nose. Breathe in mindfully. Breathe out mindfully. Breathe in mindfully. Breathe out mindfully. Mind wander. Mind's nature is wandering. If you are having thoughts, that's the nature of our mind. Don't try to control your thoughts. If you are distracted by your thoughts, bring your thoughts back to the breath, present moment. Breathe in mindfully, breathe out mindfully. While you are closely watching your breath, you may experience long breaths in and out, short breaths in and out. Just understand, I'm having long breaths and short breath. Be mindful about each breath. Breathe in mindfully, breathe out mindfully. Now your mind and body are relaxed, peaceful and calm. Think about how important it is to practice this meditation every day, keeping ourselves happy, peaceful and balanced. Please bring your palms together in front of your heart. Make a strong determination to practice this meditation every day, at least 5-10 minutes. May peace be with you. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Thank you very much. Slowly open your eyes. Let's do our chanting practice, page number 4. If you do like to chant, you can chant with the group. Otherwise, you can just listen, or you can see the meaning, or you can continue your practice. There's no rules. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi Dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchāmi Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchāmi Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchāmi Tatiyampi saranang gacchāmi Anicca vata sankhara Uppada vaya dhammino Uppajjitva nirujjanti Tesan upasamo sukho Sabbhe sattha avera hontu Sabbhe sattha abhyapajja hontu Sabbhe sattha aniga hontu Sabbhe sattha sukhi attanang pariharantu Mano pubbangama dhamma Mano settha manomaya Manasace paduttena Bhasati va karoti va Tato nang dukkha manveti Cakkang vahato padam Mano pubbangama dhamma Mano settha manomaya Manasace pasannena Bhasati va karoti va Tato nang sukha manveti Chayava anapayini Mind is the order of all states. Mind is chief. Mind is head. If with the collective mind, one should either speak or act, suffering follows caused by that. This is the root of all narcissism. Mind is the order of all states. Mind is chief. Mind is head. If with the clear and confident mind, one should either speak or act. Happiness follows outside it, as one shadow that never leaves. We believe in the generosity, believe that by generosity, believe generosity, think seriously, generously. We believe practice. One, accepting and forgiving. Believe generosity. My wish Good morning, everybody. So, how are you this morning? Thank you so much for coming this morning and your dedication to your practice. Today we have a lay Sangha Dhamma talk. Usually we monks giving talk, but once in a while we have lay Sangha Dhamma talk opportunities. And today Bill Reddy is giving talk. Today I want to just, you know who's the Bill, but I want to tell you about two things. He's, I think when Bhante Sujata, I think more than 20 years ago to 23 years ago something, when meditation start in the basement, I think one of his student is Bill. And also, you can see behind that beautiful art, that's the one of Bill's amazing talent. And thank you so much, and I think this is your time. I know. Yeah, that's all right. Is it on now? You can keep hold.
Oh, I have to hold it?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Does it work? Oh, there we go. Okay, good. I thought, all right, I wasn't sure. Okay. So, all right. So it seems like it hasn't been that long ago since I gave one of these, but here I am back again. So I thought I'd start my talk today by saying, I have good news and I have bad news. First, the bad news, and that is that we're all going to die. And the good news is we're all going to die. But there's that possibility with our practice that we can approach it maybe a little more mindfully and maybe less fearful, and maybe with a clearer mind. That's what I'm banking on. So that's it. And I think the reason I thought of this part of my talk today was because this year, in a couple months, I'm going to turn 70. And it's always one of those milestones in life that you really makes you think and see things differently. I think it's definitely more real to me now, like death is. And I don't mean this in any type of a pessimistic. And I always when I think, because, I'll have a tendency to talk about death at times. And if I talk with someone younger, I feel funny because I know I'm it's definitely from a different perspective. I'm more like in the twilight of my, especially my working career and very possible my life too. So, but the reality of it is there's an end and like a real stop, which reminds me of this T-shirt I saw this time up in the Summerfest, and on the front of this guy's T-shirt it said, "I don't mind the speeding downhill out of control. It's the sudden stop that bothers me." So I personally think that's funny is because it's just kind of a way of dealing with such something that's so incomprehensible and really hard to, indescribable. And humor is good. I mean, laughter is always good. So something like that, really, I think that's why they come out with T-shirts and everything. That's how we all deal with things like this. So, along with thinking of death, and I think, sometimes there's two parts to it, I think, for me, and that is that sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and this time especially, I think, because, it's dark and it's quiet, and And it'll be really interesting for me. Something like that will come up, and I'll just kind of think about it, and, not in, a bad sense, but just kind of like, what is all of this? And, it's really, it's pretty interesting. But on the other hand, there will be times when it's really an emotional reaction, more of a sadness when I think of people that I really care about, leaving me or me leaving them. So, and also along this lines, I come with the fact of what is all the significance of this? And not that I mean that I want someone to answer this for me, because there are really no answers, but it's just kind of like an open-ended question, like the significance of all of this. And so, I was reading the Mahasatipatthana Sutta just recently, and when I came to the one part, and it was the Buddha talking about suffering, and it's part of the Four Noble Truths. And he elaborated on it, and he said, birth is suffering, aging is suffering, death is suffering, sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress is suffering. Being attached to the unloved is suffering. Being separated from the loved is suffering. Not getting what one wants is suffering. In short, the 5 aggravates of grasping are suffering, which are form, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. So, in taking out of context, wow, that's pretty dire. It's kind of like, who came up with this plan? And if that's where it stopped, if that's all you took of it, it really seems like such a pessimistic teaching. And here's something that kind of stuck with me on one of the Dharma talks that Bhante Sumana gave when he was a monk here. This was some years ago. And he said that there were times with the early monks with the Buddha, that there were a number of monks that had committed suicide. And he was going on to elaborate about how they didn't quite grasp the true meaning of the Buddha's of what the Buddha meant. And obviously, if you look at just this part of the things like this, this looks pretty dire. But that's not really what the Buddha meant, I don't think. I don't think the Buddha ever said that life is suffering, just life on a whole is suffering. I thought he meant more like our reactions to pain and things that come up in life is suffering, or attachment is suffering, or wanting things to be different than the way they are suffering. So the nice thing is I personally don't mind the word suffering. I don't know. I know we've talked about it in here where suffering is optional, and that's true. But I think as long as we do have some type of reactions to life, there's going to be some suffering. Maybe not as bad. Maybe sometimes worse than others. But I think with the reaction comes suffering. So fortunately for the Buddha, and people like him that have that seem to be able to see beyond what most of us can, and so he could probably take the energy that most of us use for focusing on our own personal self and fortifying yourself, and maybe take that energy and be able to go beyond and use his brain to more of a capacity than a lot of us could. And maybe that's part of what the key is. I don't know. Is there if everything is energy, maybe that's the issue, that as regular human beings that it takes so much energy to maintain such a self, and maybe going beyond that does free up the mind to do that. And I think if we can go beyond reaction, then maybe that's part of the key. And which leads me to a Dharma talk by Bhante Sankey from Michigan, and he was talking about karma. And what I really liked about his description of karma was that he said that the wheel of karma initially starts with reaction. And so you think of that, and you can see how reaction built upon reaction, actually, maybe initially that's how we start our self and our suffering, is because we have that reaction to thing. And so we're always constantly living from the past forward, and we're always, everything that we come into contact with, we're always interpreting through our past. So I was thinking of this, I sent my daughter, it was her 40th birthday recently, and I sent her a little thing from the internet that I found, because she was out of town, so, and it said on it, happy 40th birthday, the first 40 years of childhood are the hardest. So she thought that was really funny, and I thought, I did it because it was funny, but I also did it because I thought there was some real meaning to that. And that is that we always seem to be carrying our childhood with us and forward with us. And that past reaction and everything comes from that childhood. And so I think the nice thing is about that, though, is that in Buddha's teaching, there's like an antidote, I see, to that. And that would be equanimity. And I just wrote down this little quote that I read about equanimity. And it said, I'm not excited due to gain. I am not disappointed due to loss. I am not excited due to praise and not unhappy due to blame. I am not excited due to comfortable bodily feelings and not unhappy with uncomfortable bodily feelings. I am not excited due to happiness and not disappointed with unhappiness. I am, that's about it. So I think that is like real freedom to me. Really freedom to seeing kind of a counteraction to our conditioning. But the trouble is, I see it is that as much as I think it's such a positive thing, I see my brain not thinking so much all the time. I think my brain is more like proactive, or that's more like observational, and the Buddha never said that, well, these are my teachings and they're really simple. It's like, well, he's not simple, but really easy to do. Because I think they're actually very difficult. This is kind of what I mean. I'm kind of going against a lot of it I can see in myself, where my natural inclination is to try to shape whatever comes up or whatever's in front of me. My brain just seems to do that naturally. And I think this is where the effort comes in, because this is a hard thing to overcome, that natural pattern that we have. But on the whole, I think that equanimity truly is freedom from the conditioning that we have. And as far as significance, I don't know if that question I just kind of throw out there, and I kind of like to just sit with that. But I don't know if there's an answer to that significance. But I think the Buddha really, when you think of his teachings, he really deals in facts. And he's nothing's pessimistic or anything, but that's just the fact. This is the way things are. And here are some possible antidotes or possible tools to counteract these facts of life, because there is definitely some pain involved. But I think the only way to really face any of this stuff is truly seeing things as facts and facing them and dealing with them with the way they are. So my ending will be this, and that is our chant that we do in the morning. Anicca vata sankhara upadavaya dhammino upajithva nirojanti tesang upa samosukho. All conditioned things are impermanent. Their nature is to arise and pass away. To live in harmony with this truth brings the greatest happiness. And I think that truly is a fact of impermanence, and to be able to see it realistically and to I've always thought, like in the past, I always caught part of that and thought, well, okay, I get the impermanence, but to live with this impermanence brings the greatest happiness. That was always a sticking point with me. But I think that's truly what will happen, I think, as the practice progresses, and we can really see happiness in living with the facts the way they are. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Bhante.
It's great and meaningful talk. And do we have any new people today? Please say your name. We want to welcome you. Welcome to the Blue Lotus. Christine, welcome to the Blue Lotus. Jenna, welcome to the Blue Lotus. Thank you so much for coming. And if you are new, if you are not receiving our email, there's a book, you can write down your name and email address. Weekly we send our email, and today we don't have announcement, but we have a lot of things going on at the temple. Tomorrow evening meditation 7 to 8 we don't have at the temple, but we have, it's a moonlight meditation. It's in Richmond. At Matak Retreat Center, and you can see the bulletin board and all the information, and you can get the address and everything. And also in next month, September 23rd, we have International Dinner Fundraiser. Please keep your day. It is annual fundraiser event. You can mark your calendar, and there's so many ways you can help to the temple, and also so many programs going on, and you can see the bulletin board and also our website and in our Facebook page and Instagram page. Especially if you are not receiving our email, please consider to write down your name and email. Then you weekly going to update what's happening in the temple. Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.